Hello, so we're going to continue on making our scalloped edge book. On the first episode we made the base of our cover, so we put the scalloped edge in. On the second episode we went ahead and we made the signatures of our book, sewing it together with the pamphlet stitch. Now if you haven't made those, down below I'll put a link to both of those videos so you can follow along and catch on up. Today what we're going to be doing is working on page 1 and page 2. Page 1 is nice, it's a cut and paste type thing. Page 2 will be working on the hinge, and we'll also be working on making this little hidden tuck spot there. So let's go ahead and get going. For now we're going to go to page 1. So this is your cover, and this is going to be page 1 right here. So on your directions, when you print them out, you're going to see that it has the page and has the information of how to follow. So you can actually see what kind of thing you're trying to do. So we're going to make a strip and we're going to make a scallop. So this is page 1. You're going to find it written in the blue letters. So page 1, this is the two strips that we're going to use. We're going to place this one and we're going to place this one. So you can cut it out with your cutting tool if you want, or you can hand cut it like this, whatever you feel most comfortable with. I have provided a little lip on all of the pieces to guide you to where you need to be cutting. So I'm cutting just before that lip so that it's not on my pattern piece. It's not as important on the red one, because it kind of just blends right in, but that's just the basic idea. So I'm going to take this piece right here. This is going to cover the edge there, and this is going to have a scalloped edge. I'm going to take this and cut a scallop. If I'm uncomfortable just freeform cutting, I can take my scallop guide again. Now I can't cut it all the way down because this piece isn't as big, but I can take my scallop guide and make little scallop cuts. For this one I think I'll do that. But I'll make it, instead of the green, I'm going to use this soft peachy color. And so I'm going to hold that there, or you can take your clips, put your clips along it to hold it for you. So I have a little bit of this peeking over. I'm not cutting the full distance because I don't want to cut into it. I don't want it to cut it apart, but I do want enough so that I have a little teeny tiny cutting guide. So I'm going to do a little clip there, little clip there. So like maybe cutting halfway down or something. So now I have a little cutting guide, so I don't have to worry about ending it like on a half circle. And I know that because I have done that before. I've cut it out and realized I don't have enough to make another scallop. So go ahead and cut your scallop out, and the same method going from peak to valley to where that clip went down to the bottom. Okay, looking good. Ta-da! So I should note too that for this book I'm not doing any of the copy dyeing. I'm not doing any of the distressing on the edges. This is just going to be a basic book that you can just kind of cut and go, and then I'll make more complicated ones after this. I find this piece easiest if I put a little glue here and then take this piece and place it on top of it. So I can have as much or as little of this little scallop piece showing. Now if I wanted to, I could have just put a white strip there and then put the scallop after that. Or I could have put the striped slip there and then use a scrap piece and made a white scallop. Either way, there's lots of different options. All you have to do is take a look at the pattern and let your imagination go wild and go. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. So this is just a basic cut and paste. It's going to have a page where you can write on. Like, so if you were giving this to someone as a gift with a gift card in the inside, that would be the perfect page to kind of write some little words that you want to say to them about the awesome gift that you got them and the great things that they can do with it. Places to go to dinner. Okay, so we got that going there. Now what we're going to do is this page here. For this page here, we're going to be doing, using one of the Be Happy cards. So you're going to pull out your pattern paper. And the Be Happy card is on this page that we already did some cutting from. That's on page 2. I'm going to show you how to make a hinge. So there's 2 ways that you can do this. I'll show you how to make a hinge, but if you want to do a cheater way, what you would do is just kind of cut right along this, leaving this lip here. And then I've designed it so you can actually just use that as a hinge and make it. The problem with that is, depending on what you're looking for, is that then you have a paper that's different than the rest of your paper. You'd have that showing. So I'm going to show you how to make a hinge and attach this, and it'll look better. So I'm going to cut that off. That's going to go there. And you want to pull that same pattern piece out right here. This is the exact side as your card. This is going to be your cutting guide. So cut along the black lines. It's your cutting guide for making your hinge. Now inside of all these words, you're going to still be using these words for other things. So it's actually going to serve a double purpose. Pretty exciting, huh? I love this little book. I've had just such fun making it. I don't know how many I've made. I've made many, many, many of them. Okay. So this is where you want to take some of the other paper that you had cut earlier. You're going to hold your piece up to it. If you want to, once again, take your paper clip, just hold a paper clip to hold the shape, and then you're going to cut along it. So this is quick and easy. If you wanted to, though, you could also just take your take your cutting board and cut it 1 inch by 4 inches. So save this because we're going to be using that a little bit later. With this piece, you want to cut it in half. Start pressing the middle and then pushing to the outsides. Right now, I have a little hinge piece right here. What I like to do is just take a little teeny tiny smidgen. And I do mean it's just a little one. It's just to cut in just slightly from your folded edge. Cut to your flap. See, this is all I cut out, just a little bit. So that when you have this on there, if it's the length is at all any different, it's not going to show up from the other side. Now, does that make sense? All right, so I'm going to measure this up, make sure that I got it cut right. Perfect. Yours should be perfect too. That's what the pattern's for, right? So I'm going to go ahead and place glue on the hinge. So here's the hinge side, here's the open side. So I'm going to place the straight edge of my paper against the straight edge of the hinge. Right up to the edge. And now I have a little hinge. It'll open and close there. This darling little piece is going to go to the bottom of my page. So I'm going to put glue on here, and then I'm going to secure it to the page, leaving about, maybe like a 1/4 inch from the bottom and then from the side where I'm gluing it. So I'm going to glue it right here, leaving just a little lip. And a 1/4 inch is just kind of, a basic little guideline. It doesn't have to be perfectly that, but that's how it goes. Then on that same page we've been cutting from, there was a singleton doily. You want to go ahead and grab that and cut that one out. So this doily, what's going to happen? It's going to go right behind here. So when it goes right behind here, and you got to watch sometimes, it might catch on that lip when you're trying to place it in and figure out where it's going to go. You want to, you know, maybe a 1/4 inch down from the top and a 1/4 inch from this side as well. So that's where I'm going to place it. And the glue I'm going to place right here. It's kind of like an upside down L shape. So I'm going to place the glue almost to the end, and then I'm going to place it kind of like 3/4 down. So I'm going to kind of put my glue here so I can see where I want it. And I'm going to place it right along the edge, not moving my page too much. And then I can place it right down on my doily. Like that. And then I'm going to open it up to make sure I don't have any glue that gets on my page and sticks that down. The important thing is that what we just did, we created this darling little flip book, but right here also we have a tuck. So that paper that we used earlier, right here, I'm going to cut a little piece. I got to see kind of where my glue is. I don't want to disturb it too much. Maybe about this size, maybe about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And it's going to tuck right under there. Now, I want you to wait until yours is dry, though. Don't go try tucking it in early because it might stick to it. But I wanted you to see you've got a tuck there. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so that's where we are with this page without doing a lot of other decorating. I think I do want to add a little word. I am going to put enjoy. So right here, I don't need this right now anymore, so I'm going to cut it apart. Make sure I don't have any little black edges on. I don't particularly want that. Take my glue, and I'm going to put this word at the top right here. Boom! Just adds a little fun. I like fun. Okay, let's move on to the next page.